Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Today, I tell you what, today's video is gonna be about sell-through rate, and there's just been so much stuff going on lately that I'm gonna change it. I think it's finally time that I start talking about this a little bit more. I'm so convinced, because what I'm gonna talk about today has really completely changed my business in a positive way, and I just wanna pass that on to some folks today. Let's go take a look. And we are still going to talk about sell-through rate today, but I'm going to tie it into this bigger topic that has really got me excited, as well as tying it into a slightly different topic to be extremely positive about what's going on right now. I know there's a lot of negativity. I get accused of negativity, and I try to make the videos as positive as I possibly can. But, well, let me talk about this thing. I've been selling a lot of stuff that was from Dawn, from Lady Arbitrage at the 127 sale that she had picked. They had so much, they were going across the country, and so she sold a lot of it to me to make it easier on them, to get them a little bit of money back, and to make me a little bit of money too. This is a cat tissue holder. Like, that seems like a Lady Arbitrage pickup for sure. And that sold really quickly. This one might have been to a viewer. I've been talking about viewer sales were a little bit down lately, and that is not a complaint whatsoever. I hope it's because you guys are out there working your butts off getting ready for Q4, and certainly no expectations. But there were a bunch of viewer sales today after having maybe 10% of our sales lately. It's gone back up to like 20-25%. So thank you to everybody. That one sold for $24.95 plus shipping. Y'all check it out. I got a visitor. Commonwealth Grammy's coming to visit me. That's awesome. She never comes to visit me in the shed. And she's got Poncho with her. I think I'm going to pull a few items before we really dig into the topic. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about sell-through rate first. But this sold. I love buying these, but the sell-through rate's not amazing on them. At least it's not amazing at first glance, and this is a bit of what I want to talk about today. So this one's a little bit different than normal. You know, normally if you're looking up sell-through rate on an item, and I don't go into the numbers and all the debate about, you know, how do you calculate it and all that stuff. People get all uptight about it. But for me, I just type in the item. You know, if you're using Google Lens or something, or eBay Lens out there, you might not get these numbers at the bottom. But if you type it in, you'll get the number. And I know these well enough that I don't really have to do it anymore. And so you type that in, you type the model number in, and you see, like, you know, this many listed, and then you go to solds and you see this many solds. Obviously, what you don't want to see is tons listed and few sold. And this is an item that you can see that on, but when you dig deeper, the sell-through rate on them really isn't that bad. The problem is a lot of these don't work perfectly. There's something wrong with one speaker, or there's, you know, something wrong with how it plays, or there's no battery charger like there is on this one, or the antenna is broken, or there's all kinds of different issues. So there's a lot of them that sit out there forever because they don't work or because they have an issue. But if you look at the ones that are tested and working, the sell-through rate's not bad on them. And so that's why I always say when I pick these up, you know, obviously I like to see them clean. This one has this little issue you probably can't see. Well, maybe, yeah, you can see it right there. And other than that, though, it was in good shape. Antenna was intact. It was tested, working. There's no corrosion on it. There is no charger on this one, but it works, and that was the key. And it sold fairly quickly at the price we put it at, $44.95 plus shipping. Can I just stop this video for a second? Let me talk to you for a second about a couple things. So much has been going on lately that I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. I think you probably sensed that in the last few videos. But first of all, let me just say, with my mom coming in here, it's their 50th anniversary. Coming up here, I guess, I don't know when you're going to see this. Actually, it's already passed by the time you see this, because it's just tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I'm forgetting what day it is. It's just so much going on. And I knew I had to get through some messages, so I stopped picking and started going through, and there's two issues. One, a return, and one, which, well, I don't want to get into it this video. And then one with the post office sending something all over the country, and it's a $385 order. So it's got me a little bit shook here, and I'm answering messages. We're listing stuff. Bubba's fiance is here today because she's basically taken over Commons and all the live selling, because I just can't keep up with everything, because Plus, I don't want to. I like eBay too much. And she's listing stuff on Commons right now. And it is, I'm getting offers. Stuff is selling as fast as I can list it. It's crazy. And that's what I want to talk about. But I've got to get through this picking here today. So if you can just forgive me for a few minutes, I'm going to pick all this stuff. And then we're going to talk at the end of the video. And happy anniversary to my mom and my dad. And there was one more thing, actually, I wanted to say before I cut that off. And that is, I was just going through messages. And I'm the kind of person that I hate to let people down. Like, I hate it. And I completely inconvenience myself to make sure people aren't disappointed in me. And I've got tons of messages lately on eBay that have nothing to do with an eBay item. And they're very kind and they're very generous and nice. And I thank you very much. So I apologize. I do not respond to messages on eBay that aren't about eBay items, and it's just a practice that I've had for a while. So if you want to send me an email, I can't promise I'm going to respond to those either. Facebook I never respond to, and I say this from time to time, but there's been a ton. This channel has been growing like crazy lately, as have all the other platforms, and I simply can't keep up with them. So if you don't get a response from me, please don't think I'm being rude. I try my best to respond to a ton of stuff, but I cannot get to everything. But thank you to all the people. I read all those messages on eBay as I was trying to deal with the return and deal with the tracking and deal with combined shipping questions and all kinds of stuff. So my apologies. And do you remember, let's see, Easton should be this one, Easton Reflex. I said the other day that don't ignore baseball. In the fall. Fall can be a good baseball selling time period. This is a great bat. I got these from J-Ride Flips, actually. He was buying at the 127 as well, and he couldn't take everything home. And, of course, I had some space, so I was buying people's stuff, and he gave me a good price on a bunch of bats, and he made some money and wasn't able to, you know, take them home in the plane. So this came from him. So thank you, J-Ride. And this one sold for $39.95. It's, when you're checking them, sometimes obviously they're not in great shape, but what you want to really look for is cracks. You don't want to see cracks in them because then they become less effective. And you can do some, I was an old baseball coach, so there's little tricks you can do with a little piece of metal or a screwdriver and see if they've really got some decent pop left in them without going out and hitting them. But that one sold pretty good and quickly. 40 bucks plus shipping. We are still auctioning off some of the Inaman, and I don't do them nearly as much as I used to because we're basically out. That one's staying put forever, and there's just a few left, and the cats knocked them off of here the other day. And so I just put them all down here. And I usually do these later in the video, but I'm trying to get this thing done because we got so much going on today. Zachary bought this one from Biggsville Bargains. And you may have been one of the persons who sent me a message and I didn't realize that you had made this purchase. But if you ever want me to read something, put it in the seller, note to seller, when you buy the item, and then it's up there and then I can read it on there. But you guys were very kind in your message, and I think you started out not too long ago as an eBay seller and you have done really, really well. And you're adding this guy, which sounds like you don't need him, but I hope he gets things moving for you. Next one is a viewer sale as well. I told you there's a bunch today, so we really do appreciate that. This is the third one. And it was my experiment the other day, putting it on the camera and making, you know, that's part of my business, right? Everything is for sale. Almost everything, not quite everything. And the Hello Kitty remote control cover. I picked it up at a sale not too long ago because it just is awesome. $14.95 plus shipping. And We Stuff is good. We Stuff just, it keeps getting better for me lately. And this is no exception. So great placement of the Hello Kitty controller decal in your YouTube video. My niece saw it and had to have it. I'm a new reseller and I enjoy your videos and insight. David, thank you. You're a first-time buyer on eBay. So for all the folks out there that say us YouTubers destroy eBay, look, there might be some truth to that. But there's also the other side of the equation, bringing new buyers over. You know, people see the YouTube part of it, but I do a ton of social media off of YouTube, and it's directed not at resellers. It's directed at the mass populace. And I can't tell you how many first-time buyers come over and buy for the first time on eBay, which, you know, I'm not saying that we're all wonderful and we're bringing more sales to everybody, but there is a component to that that people miss. Look at Bo's girlfriend out there. She's making commons lots and it's changing what we're doing and buying. But I am going to talk about that at the end, along with some other things, including Walmart as a selling marketplace that's becoming popular. Level 3 personal reader. This is one of those messages I just got on here. This one sold for $9.45 plus shipping. It is also a first-time buyer. But they sent me a message just a minute ago. It said, hey, if I buy a different book too, can you combine those into one shipping and ship them out? And I said, yeah, but I'm shipping this today, so you got to hurry. That'd be a nice little combo and save them a little bit of shipping. And I also talked about cassette tapes the other day, and one way that I find that I'm able to still sell cassettes and I love them and not selling them under really where I want to sell items is lotting them up. None of these cassettes right here were really worth kind of selling in my model. Right here, Molly Hatchet. They weren't sealed or anything, but they were all Molly Hatchet. And I said, well, you put them all together. You get 5 Molly Hatchet cassettes and sell them together, and they'll get to our $15 price point right there. Actually, $14.20 plus shipping. Also said that plush wasn't selling extremely well for us right now, but I've sold 2 in 2 days at this point, and Alf is one of my favorites. And this is the suction cup Alf, and a lot of times the suction cup things on them are kind of crispy. This one's pretty good, and it's in good clean shape actually. And that one sold for, again, $14.20 plus shipping. By the way, that 20-cent thing means that I sent out a 5% offer. So I usually do that 3-4 times a week. I'll send out offers to folks, and it usually results in some sales, and it did there. The next one does not have a message on it, but I recognized it as a viewer sale anyways because they bought 2 things. Southern Methodist University, and that old pennant right there sold for $11.35. And it's Rebecca who bought this, so I'm 99% sure you are a viewer because you bought 2 things that are a little bit unrelated. Let me find, that's the one I want. And it is in the college bin hat. And college football starting up, and people start to buy stuff. Paid $1 for this one. Sold for $10. But no, it didn't. What did it sell for? $11.95 plus shipping. You ever run into a sale purely by accident when you're heading to another sale? That was this sale right here. And they had Carhartt at that sale for nothing. I bought 2 of them. I mean, not nothing, but pretty much nothing. And it had tags on it. And I'm like, holy moly. $33.20 plus shipping. I sold a golf lot on shopcommons.net, and I am going to talk about that and give a rundown. A lot of people have been asking about it at the end of this video. And we sold that golf lot over there. It was some used polo shirts, Nike Golf and whatever, and then it had, what else did it have? Some head covers in it. It had a bunch of different, it had golf balls in it. It had a bunch of different golf stuff in it, and it sold for $85 plus shipping. But since I'm going to talk about that, and that truly is revolutionizing my business, along with one other thing that I want to talk about at the end, but I do want to just throw this in here right now because I mentioned it earlier. The Walmart marketplace is really changing, and I am hearing now that there is an app coming out for sellers for the Walmart selling platform, and it's going to really be interesting to see. I think when we look back a year from now, we're going to look at this and think, boy, this is really ramping up, and there's massive opportunity. I'm not telling people run over to this site, run over to this, whatever. I'm just trying to present this stuff because, look, for all the naysayers out there, I've been bullish on reselling growing, and yeah, there's more hurdles, there's more difficulty, there's more options, and the options sometimes can cripple us. That doesn't mean everybody has to take every option. But when there's more options to sell, there's also more competition for sellers and for good resellers and for people who can pick good and people who have opportunities to source quantity. And there's so many opportunities out there. This is a time to be bullish and to prepare and to figure out your way going forward in the reselling business. It's not dying. It's growing like crazy. It just seems like it's a little bit difficult for some folks who really don't know the strategy they want to take. And like I said, it cripples them sometimes. But boy, there is massive opportunity right now to change your everyday life if you really choose to and go all in on something. The chances are, you know, sometimes it's difficult to take those chances, but those opportunities are there. All right, y'all, I got to come out here and pick two things. But Bubba's fiance is here. She's making, are these vintage? Vintage tees? A bunch of tees going on Commons. That one doesn't look too vintage, but it's cool. Is that Hunger Games? Cool. All right, I got to grab, and look, both of you are here today. Having fun yet?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what am I getting? What did I come in here for?
The books.
Oh, where are they at?
Outside in that green bin.
Right, outside in the green bin.
The little teal one.
The course book. This one just sold. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I can't do this without help anymore. There's so much going on, so I got them both here today. Oh, wait, it's this one that sold, isn't it? Hey, I sold something else in here, too. Let me get my little ladder out and grab this. All right, look at me selling glass. This is an Empoli. I don't know what kind you call them. It's like a diamond print or something. I don't know if I'd call it a Genie bottle, but that one sold for $29.40 plus shipping. So because of the success of Commons and Dibbed It at this point, I've had to ask both of the girls to come in sometimes because I'm finding myself promoting and handling things that I've never handled before. And they've been gracious enough to, you know, Bubba's girlfriend might work 4, 6, 8 hours a week, but she's been in here helping a lot more than that lately, so it's been awesome. And Jess, I've even given some of the jobs for taking pictures and stuff because I can't get the listings up because I'm doing so much other stuff. But it should slow down pretty quick, I hope, anyways. At least the sourcing's going to slow down. All right, I'm rambling. You get my point. Year 4 course book. I mentioned I had to relist 2 of these because people bought them, canceled them, and they couldn't go relist it as a multi-quantity, and I forgot to do it. So it sold out, and then I put 2 more back up. And this one sold really quickly, $24.95 plus shipping. And this one is cool, and I think this may be yeah, it's Jody. So this is also a viewer sale today. And how did I have it listed? Sky Blue Empoli Genie Bottle Decanter. Diamond Point Twist. Whatever. $29.40 plus shipping. I've been doing pretty good with glass, y'all. Turner's got some Commonwealth comedy. What do you got for us, bud?
Why did the owner of a bakery hire a pitcher?
Why did the owner of a bakery hire a pitcher? I have no idea.
Because he knows how to handle the batter.
Very good, buddy.
Bye.
You ever sell anything on a day where you have absolutely no time to ship stuff? This one finally sold, and it sold for $75 plus shipping. These should go for $100 or $125, but this has a few little issues with it. They're really not hard to ship, y'all. Go to the dump site is what I do, and I find a big screen TV box, and I cut it in half, and it works pretty good. Sold another one of these. This is each of the last 3 shows we've sold on Nike Dry Fit t-shirt again. They slowed way down. Now they've heated way back up because fall is coming and long sleeve tees are better. And people wear them underneath things as well. $19.95 plus shipping. All right, y'all. Reagan is back. She wasn't on the last episode because I forgot to film her and she was busy. Man, you're getting so big. Your hair is so long. It's making me sad. Hey, ornament time. We got to start thinking about what's the ornament idea for the year. You want to ask them? Maybe you guys should tell us. What do you think we should put on our Christmas ornament this year? And for those of you who haven't been around, we sell a Christmas. Reagan sells a Christmas ornament that she designs every year, and we sell 40 of them. So, anyway, that'll be nice. Who are you thinking today?
Carson got a blue CBP t-shirt.
Carson, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Almost forgot 2 things. This one right here, Marvin the Martian keychain, $7.66 sold. And the lady I spoke about earlier did buy this right before we shipped this. This one sold for $20.95 because it had this on there right there. So that worked out perfect, and she'll get a refund like that. By the way, these are accidentally on 30% off, which is why they're going so cheap. But I'll still take the sale. All right, I am going to talk about the topic that I was going to talk about. I'm going to reference these hats right here, along with some other stuff. So, I'm kind of hesitant to talk about this on this channel because it's not necessarily what this channel is about. However, what I've been doing with Shop Commons, and not just me, so many people I have to thank, it's just absolutely revolutionizing my business. And this has worked wildly, even more than I thought it would at this point in this stage. And if you don't know, I have a couple of district sites, 3 of them actually. Dibbed It is the one that we sell live on with Carrie and Dave and a bunch of other folks as well. And that's been ramping up like crazy. But Shop Commons has really just blown my mind. We have listed, I'm going to run through some numbers for you for the whole marketplace in general. This was an idea that I had that I thought was missing from the space. And I'll explain it just a little bit. I don't want to go into great detail. It might bore some of you. However, it is going to be a great opportunity for a few folks out there to buy, especially in months that they can't source well. And it's going to be a great opportunity for some folks to sell, but there's a few little nuances I got to talk about. So the idea behind it is there's a lot of people who buy in bulk, who do house clean outs, who buy storage units, who, you know, just make massive auction buys, that kind of stuff. And they have difficulty unloading certain parts of it that they don't deal with on static sales on different marketplaces. And I knew this was an issue because I have these people contacting me all the time saying, hey, you want to do bulk buyouts, you want to do bulk, you know, do whatever, because they have too much inventory at times. And I also have people contacting me who are saying, hey, I'm shutting down my eBay store, selling everything off, and I'm moving and then restarting back up again. Do you want to buy everything? And I can't even keep up with the requests. So I also have folks that tell me, hey, it's a struggle for me to source. I can't get out. I can't do this, you know, because of physical limitations, age, whatever, all kinds of stuff, where I live. And I thought, there's got to be a way we can put these people together, because right now, there's a lot of people, like the first group of people that I talked about, who have turned to Whatnot to sell things off in bulk. They just can't deal with it all. But there's a lot of cost in it. The fees are high. There's a cost in time to grow an audience. And there's a lot of folks who just don't want to live sell. I thought, let's figure out a way to do this that meets the needs of both of those people. And I knew there was a need for it, but I didn't quite know it would grow like it has grown already. It's crazy. I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to run through some numbers, but I wanted to use this as an example really quick. You hear me talk about my buddy Deathpile Picker. He's been selling like crazy over there, and it's perfect for him. He buys so much stuff and doesn't like to list it. Sorry, Mike, but that's true. And so I've even bought a few lots myself. I try to leave some of the good ones out there for folks to get, because I don't want people to think I'm just buying off the good stuff. And I've bought some lots. This is a great one right here. I'm going to make some good money on that, Mike. Thank you. But I know you've been selling like crazy. My buddies have helped me early on in this stage. You know, Chernox Connection and Tim over the years, Eric OBX and Grams and Pops and Reseller Ride selling over there. All kinds of people have been selling, but then tons of other people have been selling as well. And I've got great feedback from both sides, from the buyers and the sellers. And that's why I'm really willing to talk about this right now. There's a video requirement to every listing. You got to film what you're doing. You don't have to be on it. You don't have to speak on it, but you got to show it, because I don't want mystery boxes. I want people to know what they're getting and be able to turn it in a different marketplace. And surprisingly to me, there's a lot of people buying things that a lot of us eBay sellers don't want to sell on eBay as singles. They're buying bulk lots of CDs and DVDs and all kinds of stuff that I'm like, I wouldn't want to flip this stuff on eBay. But they're being bought by Amazon sellers. They're being bought by people who have media shops, physical brick and mortar stores. They're being bought. I had a guy from a gas station say, hey, I bought a tool lot that I hang up in my old gas station and I sell them in there. So there's all kinds of different people buying for all kinds of different marketplaces, antique booth sellers. And it has really, really been successful. And I'm so grateful to everybody out there who has helped me build it to this point. But it has now revolutionized my business. Let me show you my numbers. I have sold 91% of the items I've listed over there. We just listed 2 today. They've already sold. And I don't have the dollar amount number on here. I can't figure out how to do it. But it's been for a significant amount of money. And we're selling things in bulk. And we're making money on these things. But there's enough left for folks to make money on. So people might ask, well, why don't you just sell it on eBay? So there's 2 reasons for me. The fees are way cheaper for people selling over here. Essentially they're half as much as eBay, because the fee is only on the selling price of the item, not the shipping, not the taxes. Plus the fee structure is 8%. It's not 14%, 15 different categories, and then you're paying that on the shipping and all the other stuff as well. So there's one reason why. The other reason why is because there are buyers on there who are going on there and just scrolling through reseller lots. You can't do that on eBay. You can look up reseller type lots on eBay, but you have to do it by search. There's everything that's listed over there is marketed towards a reseller, and so people are just going on there and they're repeat buying. And it's just been amazing. And it's changed the way I think when I'm going out there picking. It's changed the way I think with what I list and how I list it and the time frame involved in it. And I'm willing to take less money to get rid of it because I have too much inventory. This place is packed. We're approaching 2,000 listings on eBay, and that's about my capacity. And I want to still continue to churn merchandise and craft my way of reselling the way I wanted to now. And it opens up so many avenues for sourcing for me. And I'm passing this on to some folks who can make some money on what I'm selling. Everything I've sold, I guarantee there's good margin in for folks. And the quickness of how much it sells is really changed what I'm doing. So I don't want to oversell this because it's not just everything's wonderful. You might even go over to shopcommons.net and look and be like, I don't want any of these lots. And there'll be a lot of people who don't. The odd thing, well, it's not odd, it makes sense. There are actually more sales right now than there are listed items, which is crazy to me. And a lot of the good stuff gets listed and it's sold like that. It sells very quickly. And so sometimes, a lot of times what you see what's left is like, yeah, I wouldn't want that. It's the people who are going on there and rechecking it, finding the good deals. And I've had some incredible stories from buyers. One buyer who's also a seller told me, I don't want to put any names out there for this one, that they bought a lot for X dollars. Pretty cheap, and they listed it all, and the listing price was $3,200, and they paid less than $200 for it. And so they're extremely stoked. Now that's, not going to happen very often, so don't get your hopes up. But there are a lot of great stories. There are over 100 different sellers who have sold a lot over there already. There are 10, somewhere around there. We'll say 9 to be on the safe side. Sellers who have sold more than 10 wholesale lots over there already. Just over a month, $26,300 in sales. And that just blows my mind, and it's growing like crazy every day. So I just want to thank everybody out there who have really chipped in and done this, and it's just crazy to me how successful it's been. Maybe some of you can fit in. I will say this. I'll give a little tip to my audience, because we're slowing way down how many sellers we're taking over there, because there's a lot of legwork and I'm putting in a ton of work on this. The dogs are barking out there. I'm trying to get them to be quiet because I can hear them in here, so I know you can hear them. So I will just say this. We're not even looking at applications for sellers unless they have read through the community guidelines and watch the video that's attached. That video is on Garage Sale Nation. You can just type in Garage Sale Nation Commons on YouTube. You can find that. If you watch that video and you read through the community guidelines, because there's a lot of people this is not for. It's not for everybody. If you do those two things and you apply to sell and state in your application that you have read through those guidelines and that you have watched that video, and then say why you're a good fit to be a seller, because this is not a site that everybody can sell on, because a lot of people can't sell way under market. They don't have enough stuff to sell. Poncho just won't let me do this video without barking. I'll try to edit some of the barks out. There he goes again. If you do that and state that you've done those things in the application, you'll stand a much better chance at being a seller. But at this point, buyers are benefiting from it as well. So I know it seems like self-promotion, but I so believe in this at this point for some people, both on the buyer side and the seller side. I really wanted to throw that out there, and this is just one opportunity that wasn't there before that is now there for people, and we're trying to keep it as low cost as possible. We're trying to navigate the live selling part of it, and some people might not like this, but we're leaning towards only allowing people to sell live if they become a member at a subscription rate, because I know that sounds awful and it's not really what I do, but there's a reason behind it that I'll get into in further days. And it might even include reduced shipping further, or reduced fees even further. and the fees are already dirt cheap. So, at any rate, I just wanted to throw this out there. I have no problem promoting myself. You know that. I do it all the time. But I wanted this to be right. I want it to be right. And it won't be right for everybody, but boy, has it been right for me. And boy, has it been right for a ton of people. And I'm getting so much positive feedback that I don't feel like it's a risk to say this at this point. So this channel won't change. But hopefully this process makes what I do a lot easier and a lot more profitable. And like I say for everything, Whatnot's not for everybody. Poshmark isn't for everybody. Mercari's not for everybody. eBay, pretty much for everybody, I gotta say. But this isn't for everybody. And live selling certainly isn't for everybody. But I like to have people see their options out there and just see this Walmart thing blowing up. I get tons of feedback from folks who are now selling on Walmart. And they've opened up to collectibles. And it's going to be an interesting year coming up for sure. And I'm excited about all the opportunities for all of us resellers. And I just would ask people not to get too dogmatic over what you think is good and what you think is bad for other people, and really just look at what's good and bad for you and make those decisions based on the way you want to live your life, the way you want to resell. And I think that that's what this channel is about. And I can't thank all of you guys enough for everything you do for me all the time. And this dog's going to drive me crazy. And I got to go sell live on Dibdit here in just a second. I got 22 minutes before I go live. And I've got everything ironed out tonight. Dinner tonight. I've got Turner going to practice today. I got it all. I'm running around like crazy. So it's fun. I can't believe I'm able to do this. And all of it is due to you guys. So thank you. And I can't wait to see you next time.